NIO has been one of the hottest stocks of 2020. Currently being traded at over $41 a share, they are up over 1,000% year to date. And they just made a new news headline discussing the 100 kilowatt battery that is going to help the range on all of their EV models, which could lead to mass expansion for the company. This company has shot up as of late, and over the past month, shares have been up over 93% in a 1 month span. So a huge increase from NIO, and in this video we're going to take a look at the current news announcement, go over what this 100 kilowatt battery means for the company over the long term, and discuss some major other headlines for the company. We're going to take a look at their price movement to determine if now is a good place to buy or if we should wait for a dip moving forward. And we're going to go over some of the most recent numbers, their deliveries for the past month, and what we think for the company and this battery over the longer term period. So please hit that like button and subscribe. If you're new here, I am the Gen Z Investor, and we post about the stock market every single day. We discuss different stocks you can buy and sell for your portfolio. And in this video, we're going to discuss NIO stock, their most recent news announcement, and what we believe it's going to do for the company over a long-term span. So please hit that like button and subscribe. The launch of the 100 kilowatt battery is really going to help NIO expand their customer base. This new battery provides extended range and will allow users to get over the number one fear consumers have when buying an electric vehicle, and that is range. The fact that they could be stuck somewhere without charge is very fearful for consumers, and this extended range on the 100 kilowatt battery is really going to help solve that issue and expand NIO's potential customers. So this new battery, and they also announced some flexible upgrade plans that will allow existing NIO drivers to upgrade their current battery to the 100 kilowatt option. They can either upgrade and buy the new battery outright, or you can pay a monthly subscription fee to get the battery swap station to put in a 100 kilowatt battery in your vehicle. And this new battery will allow up to 615 kilometers worth of range, which is a significant bump up from where the existing 70 kilowatt battery currently provides. So this is a new amazing feature from NIO. These batteries are available for pre-order today, and this is going to be a great way they announce this. Because you can pre-order these batteries, and because these batteries can go into existing NIO vehicles, and the fact that NIO's kind of been pushing towards consumers getting their battery as a swap service and actually buying an EV vehicle without the battery and just paying a monthly fee to rent and use the charge stations, I believe this is going to help new consumers jump into NIO today because they know once the new battery comes out, they can just upgrade to that subscription model and get that service. So NIO's battery as a swap service is allowing consumers to actually rent the battery. They do not have to buy the battery up front when they purchase an electric vehicle. So vehicle battery separation. So you can actually buy a vehicle for 70,000 Chinese yen off. When we convert that to US dollars, it works out to be around 10,500 US dollars cheaper on the base price when purchasing an EV car if you buy it without the battery. And instead, you can rent the battery and actually use the battery as a swap service for around $150 a month. So for subscribing for $150 a month, you can get your EV car upfront cost $10,000 cheaper and pay that monthly fee in order to rent the battery and use the battery as a swap stations, which have been growing very nicely. And NIO has announced that they've completed over 1 million power swaps in their stations, and they have over 155 locations to swap out your battery within China already, and they're expanding that even faster. So it's some good options from NIO. The announcement of this extended battery, which is available for pre-order today, I really think is going to help consumers get into their vehicles. It really helps solve the range issue, and especially because you can upgrade your current vehicle with the new 100 kilowatt battery, I think it's going to help consumers buy new vehicles in this quarter in Q4 2020 and beyond. Because usually when new companies make announcements for new products or services and they announce them 12 months earlier, consumers wait. They say they have that mindset where I'm going to wait a year to buy it because I'll just wait for the new battery, the new product, the new service, whatever it may be to come out. But with NIO, the fact that you can just transition your vehicle over to the higher powered battery once it's fully released, or once it's fully released, when you go to swap your battery at a station, they can just put in the 100 kilowatt option. I think it's going to help consumers get into the vehicle today. It's going to get rid of that idea that I need to wait a year. It's going to get the fact that I can buy my vehicle today, drive it around with the current 70 kilowatt battery option, And once the 100 is available on the market, I will just pull it to a station and they will have no problem taking out my existing and fulfilling my new charge with a 100 kilowatt battery. So I really think that's going to help NIO consumers kind of get over the range issue, and I think it's a good announcement from the company. So this share price has surged, and we're going to take a look at if they've surged too fast, too soon. Over the past month, we have seen shares go up from $21.56 all the way up to over $41 a share. Shares have nearly doubled over the past month, and this run-up has happened extremely fast, and I think we may see a pullback coming soon. Usually, when shares go up this fast, we see somewhat of a pullback, especially with the hype and all the EV companies we've seen on the market. When shares zoom up, we usually see a fast decline that follows. Of course, we can never predict what's exactly going to happen with NIO, but in my personal opinion, I just think this current increase has come up too fast and too hard. And really what we saw is that on October 14th, JP Morgan announced a $40 price target for NIO. So when shares opened that day, we saw a 20% increase in one single trading day from that news alone. And when one of the largest investment banks in the world sets a $40 price target on around a $21 stock, we usually see those prices kind of increase very fast. And that's what we saw. So for investors who want to play the short-term jump of 22%, they thought that's all we were going to see. They thought that initial jump up from NIO was enough to carry the company, and then we're going to see a decline. But that really hasn't happened. We've gotten some more positive news that has continued to push the share price even higher, and it has actually reached that $41 price target that was set to be hit by June 2021 by JP Morgan in literally 2 weeks after they announced that price target. So I think over the short term, we may expect a little decline from NIO. I just think a 93% increase in one single month isn't sustainable. I think we're going to see a lot of institutional investors lock in some short-term gains, and we might see a little bit of sell-off. But that still doesn't change if NIO is a hold over the longer term. If NIO is the company they believe is going to succeed over the next 5+ years in China. And if we take a look, other fund managers are really bullish on the company. Baillie Gifford reported that the fund manager thinks that NIO could be worth much more than where it is today and sees NIO valuation reaching $300 billion over the next 10 years. So this doesn't discuss the current price point of NIO. It discusses where they expect it to be over the longer term, which is a $300 billion company down the road, which would actually imply around a 40x upside on the current today's share price. We'll have to see if NIO can actually expand and reach this high threshold, but it just shows that some of these investors, some of the people who are actually long-term bulls on the company, see that over a 10-year span, over a traditional investing period of a 5 to 10-year span, they see NIO succeeding over the longer term as well. If we take a look at NIO's price target and some price charts, of course we saw the chart, we saw the run-up that's happened extremely fast as of late, and you can take a look here that as of late, from the earlier in October, right at that October 12th to 13th mark from JP Morgan's price target, we have seen a rapid increase. And if we take a look at their analysis on the current, just technical analysis of the share price movement, they see that shares are not in a buy range. Are not. Because of the run-up, the stock is now extended and are expected to fall sharply moving forward. Doesn't mean that over the long term, this company won't succeed and we won't see share price way above 40, 80, $100+ a share. But they're talking about over the short term, they're expecting a pullback in share price. We're not predicting how much of a decline, but these analysts believe that we will see somewhat of a decline because we've seen them climb too hard and too fast. If we take a look, NIO's also done a nice job actually beating delivery numbers, which is one of the factors that has kind of led to that startup in that current run-up in the month of October. They announced that deliveries have actually doubled. So on November 2nd, they reported their previous month deliveries, which of course were for the month of October. And they actually doubled their electric vehicle deliveries, and in one single month, they delivered 5,055 deliveries, which is exactly a 100% year-over-year increase from the same month in 2019. So these numbers are absolutely huge. It just shows that the company is expanding month over month, year over year, and is doing a nice job. And year to date, they've more than doubled their deliveries and are up 111%. And so far in 2020, they've delivered over 31,000 vehicles to consumers. So they've done a nice job getting the deliveries numbers up. And that's another thing that kind of led to the rapid short-term increase. When we got a lot of positive news all at once for NIO, we hear a lot of people who are already bullish on the EV sector. We hear JP Morgan increase their price target. JP Morgan called them the long-term winner in China. JP Morgan also announced that they're setting a price target and that they were kind of upset that they missed the fast run-up so far through 2020. We also see news of the new record-breaking deliveries. A lot of positive news for NIO came out all around the same time. And if we take a look at their outlook moving forward. So we took a look at the short-term perspective. We saw their new 100 kilowatt battery news announcement. I believe it's really going to help consumers get into NIO vehicles. We saw the fast run-up in share price. A lot of people taking a look at the price chart for NIO are expecting a little bit of a decline coming soon, and then that might be a buy opportunity. But over the longer term perspective, over a 5-10 year span, a lot of institutions and individual investors are still bullish on the company. And if we take a look at their future outlook, NIO CEO William Li said they're expected to reach an annual production capacity of 150,000 units by the end of 2021, and on a longer term expected to reach 300,000 units per year by the next 3 to 4 years. That's kind of what they're expecting. It doesn't say that exactly in this report, but from other reports I've gone through, over another 3 to 4 year span, they're expecting to hit this 300,000 vehicle level. They also only delivered 20,000 in 2019, but what we saw is that so far in 2020, they've delivered over 34,000 vehicles. So a lot of good, future outlook for NIO, and we will have to see how they perform moving forward. So with the new flexible battery upgrade plans that NIO just announced with the 100 kilowatt battery, they will allow consumers to rent this battery and use the power swap stations to switch out their batteries. And for the monthly subscription fee, you can get between 6 and 10 battery swaps per month at one of these stations. And NIO has completed over 1 million power swaps as of early October 2020. So this just shows that they're growing these stations at a very fast rate. There's currently 155 power swap stations in China, and they've completed over 1 million swaps. And the most frequent user of these battery swap stations has swapped a battery in their same vehicle over 500 times. NIO's also seen some growth in their NIO Pilot, or their somewhat autopilot-like feature. They have over 1 million hours of people driving in autopilot and over 70 million kilometers of journeys on the NIO Pilot system, which is still, of course, growing in popularity and is still not fully autonomous just yet, but they are working towards expanding that as time goes on. And this battery as a swap service is really going to help NIO stand out as a company and really compete against the other existing EV brands in China, only because to get a supercharge from a Tesla vehicle, it takes between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on the range you need and the type of vehicle and the actual swap station you're at. But at a NIO battery swap station, you can get a brand new fully charged battery in about 3 minutes. You pull in your vehicle, they remove your existing battery and replace it with a fully charged battery of the same model. So for under 3 minutes, which is the typical time it takes to fill up your existing, internal combustion engine vehicle, your normal gas-powered vehicle at a gas station, you can get a new battery in your EV car, which I believe is really going to help the company, is that really strong point of difference between them and any other brand on the market, and they've seen a nice growth in their battery as a swap service and their power stations. So that was kind of the big news announcement for NIO today. The 100 kilowatt battery just got released. It's available for pre-order starting today on November 7th, and I think it's going to be a big addition to their portfolio and can really help consumers get into NIO vehicles. So that was kind of a quick announcement about NIO. We talked about what we think is going to happen over the short term compared to a longer term view, and I really do appreciate you tuning in. I am the Gen Z Investor, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.